Everybody in the whole wide world really just needs to chill.
Okay, well, let's get into the new album that you got coming out. I've heard it's coming out probably the end of the year.
Yeah. We think so. Yeah, I mean, anytime between September and the end of the year. There's no manual right now, and because of COVID, and because there's so much what we'll call album traffic, as we build into the end of the year, there's so many bands, and artists releasing stuff, and because of COVID, everybody was like, "What do we do? When do we release it?" And I'm the same. It's just like I'm not sure what to do. So neither is the label. We get together and talk about it, and then we don't really come up with anything yet. But it's ready to go.
So nothing concrete, but the big Fantasize. So I was curious about the title there. Where did that derive from?
It's a line in one of the songs called Georgian Bay.
Okay.
Georgian Bay is a body of water I spent a lot of time on.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Yeah. And Elka Hollingwood, that's where I had a place up there. But
Okay.
yeah, it's called Collingwood, but I call it Elka Hollingwood because all people do is drink and ski. So it's just the big Fantasize the line in the tune, and I just like the sound of the big Fantasize because I know we all fantasize about stuff. We're all dreamers. Yeah, we live in the moment, we live in the past, but we also fantasize about the future, and so it's kind
Things
of
may
cool.
come.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, the first single I have seen the video for that entitled "Wishes," and I want to say that's a crazy powerful song. You still got it. Your voice is just as good as ever. But I found that song was just really deep message about appreciating the finer things in life, it seems. But I wanted a bit of the origin story because I know I read that you were inspired by a poem by the same name.
Yeah, that's right.
How did that come to be?
Okay, so 10 years ago, you're in a waiting room, and you normally would pick up an outdated Reader's Digest, and that didn't happen. For some reason, something was telling you to pick up this book of poetry. You never see poetry in a waiting room, but so you pick it up and randomly open it somewhere in the book, and there's this poem staring at me called "Wishes" by A.C. Child. And when I was reading about it, I loved the message. Like I sort of, my eyes got a little misty at the end of it because the message of we can wish for wealth, we can wish for beauty, it's okay to wish for these things, but there are simpler things in life that can bring us just as much satisfaction, and hopefully those are the things that you and I get before we die. And it just was the way it was worded, I was like, wow, this is powerful. I'd love to write a song, first of all, find out if it was ever done, which it wasn't. So I got to work and got the book to my place and started writing it. But it was a long process. Oliver, it was like it was up until about 6 months ago before I finished it, because you realize that it's a complete poem, but as a song now, it doesn't feel like a complete song. There's things missing. It's not a nice musical journey. There's no refrain. There's no musical deviation in the center to sort of refresh the listener when you go back in it. So that took a long time to find those parts that felt like they belonged. And I didn't lose faith that they wouldn't come. I just was kind of going, I believe in this song, and I really want it on this record. And when I started finishing up the record, I was like, I really want this part to happen. And one day it did happen. And all of a sudden I was like, the song was like going to me, there it is, but there, more like that, finally. That's what I want. That's what I've been asking you for. And then in a couple hours it was done, and it thank you. I'm really proud of the song.
No, it's a great track for sure. It really was moving to listen to, and the video was pretty cool too. I thought just cruising around, it really spoke to the message.
Well, it's a different sound for me, a different track for me than the Gopher Sodas and Rock and Roll Duties and Lager and Ale, I'm the Wild Party. But it was my producer that said, this is a side of you, man, that your audience should hear more of, to be exposed to.
I fully agree with that. And it sounds like you were working on it for quite some time, almost a decade then.
Well, not the album.
No, the song though. You had kind of picked it up.
Yep. And the moral of the story is, if you believe in the song, stick at it. There's always the other side of the mountain. There really is. It's It might be a pain to get there, but eventually the part will come.
That's good advice.